Okay, lesson 167. There is one life, and that I share with God. Okay, just fell asleep, and so sweet. Yeah, so this lesson was so cool because I think it again just laid out, I wouldn't say arguments, but it presents thoughts that they remind me of like the LSAT, like when you're studying to be a lawyer, enter law school, kind of like if this, then that. And I think I've said that before, but it's like saying there's only one life, and we share that with God. And so life being like a source, I don't even want to try to like explain this whole concept as much as the lesson brought in how death has nothing to do with the life that God created, and death in all of its forms, anxiety, depression, anger. And it said in the lesson, it's paragraph 2, I think in line 3. It's the one idea that underlines all feelings that are not supremely happy. And I was like, I wonder when I'm supremely happy. I wonder how often that is. I don't need to know, but I thought of that like, because often, like I'm picturing we had a really lovely day. Like we ate lunch outside on a blanket, and I'm like wondering, as I'm eating lunch, Justine keeps dropping her food on the blanket. I keep moving it back on the plate. She got some salt out, and like she started to over salt because she wanted to do it. And then as I interjected my arm in there, I like triple salted the thing and made it inedible. But I'm just like, am I always trying to, not always, but I'm often controlling, manipulating, or I'm thinking of what's coming up, or I'm trying to like, oh, her hand is dirty. Blah, blah, blah. So I just wonder what supreme happiness is. And I kind of wish they could measure, how your phone measures screen time, like, 9 hours, 43 minutes today. It'd be cool if it was like, how many supreme happy moments, just to know, because for sure I'm having less anxiety, but just what I love about the course is that it's so no nonsense. Like if you have any level of upset, like I remember today we went shopping and we fortunately purchased Justine a watering can. Yay. We were looking for a rug, but we got a watering can for her. Cool. And we were waiting for my husband in the car, and it was so hot. So I was eating an apple, and no, she was eating it, and then she threw it on the floor, on the ground. And then I couldn't find it. And some lady came along. But my point is, I lost my peace for a second. Like, wait, why would you throw that on a perfectly good apple on the ground? But I washed it off. It was fine. But I'm just saying, it's kind of like I managed moments by moments. So I'm really grateful for that line, really striking me. How often am I supremely happy? Or I'm totally living this other life. And as I read this lesson, I was reminded again that it's saying kind of how, we can be asleep to the truth of who we are, and the truth that God created one life. God created us. And it says, paragraph 4, line 1, death is the thought that you're separate from your creator. And so that's what the Course has taught us. The only problem we think we have is we feel separate from our Creator. So we feel anxious, alone. We feel like we can't handle what's happening. It said that somewhere today too. And so it was like, you're asleep to the truth. And it just still reminds me of like, it's like someone telling you, actually, you know, you're from the royal family and you have, I don't know, $60 billion in the bank that's yours. You can use it anytime. And you have access to the fountain of youth, and you have power. You can actually create anything you'd like. You can have harmonious relationships, like anything a human would seek. It's like we are all walking around, like yesterday, we are all walking around with the gifts of God. We've been given them. They lay dormant, like within us. And that is the only life that there is one where we all have these gifts of God that lay dormant for some of us, and some of us, we wake up to them. And then we're like, why would we deny these? Why wouldn't we use these? And we begin to believe that more than we believe, you know, what our tax report says or something of who we are and what we possess. Or yeah, so those were a few thoughts, and I really liked, hold on. Oh. I just love the last sentence. For the awakened mind is one that knows its source, itself, its holiness. Yes, that's what I know I've been looking for this whole time. I've been distracted by lots of things for a long time. But I've shared those moments in former videos where where people have demonstrated their, almost like their knowing of who they are. And I've been like, I want that. We're getting there. Okay. Warm cheeks. Sweaty, actually, very sweaty. Okay, you're doing great. What I love is we're approaching the middle of the year, but tomorrow's lesson 168. But anyway, I'm just excited. I don't know. I want to celebrate that one majorly. Anyway.